Danielle for both being here today. And I feel so lucky to be in April's universe, as well as Danielle's, for inviting me to be a guest host on her channel today. So for those of you who I invited, basically this is going to be a more laid back version of anything that you might be used to showing up for my events, because obviously we have 2 additional guests. So it's going to be like a trio of magnificence that you're going to be experiencing today. So just to give you a heads up, this is probably going to take about, I would say, up to an hour, but probably between like the 40 to 45 minute mark, just because we're going to be answering questions in the chat and interacting with you. So definitely make sure to stay through the end, because I want to make sure that depending when we do get to the chat, that we get your questions answered live for you. And that's why you're here. So really, I just wanted to just open up, and you're here because you want to know how to feel youthful and look radiant on camera for entrepreneurs, coaches, mentors, and healers, and really for anyone who wants to feel youthful and radiant in your business, in life, and just really showing up as your highest and best self. And you're here because you want to find out our secret that we have for more clarity, energy, and confidence, and really how we bring our highest and best to ourselves, to our personal life, our relationships, our business, and just wanting to have the energy that we have, the excitement to live on this world together to make it a better place. And I'm super excited, because this is really how I show up and how these gorgeous beauties show up effortlessly on camera and for their biz, and really look and feel up to 10 years younger. And you might think that I'm like pushing that, but I'm going to share a little bit a story in a little bit about how this is affecting me looking up to 10 years younger. And we're going to be covering like the 3 keys to more clarity, more energy, and more confidence in your life. And I'm so lucky, because April was the one who introduced me, who brought this youth in a bottle to my life. I don't know if you could see that, but when I entered April's world, it was a while ago. It was probably like about a year and a half ago. I was in her world through Ascended Masters and through Spiritually Raw, her channel. And I was really aligning with a lot of the spiritual guests that she was having and the interviews that she was doing. And I would watch for those shows and watch for the little things about like the Age of Aquarius and understanding our light body and really aligning with that. And then I was watching and seeing April literally like Benjamin Button before my eyes. And I'm like, what is she doing? And I saw this incredible episode that she did a few months back. I believe it was called what's it called? The God Elixir of the Gods. Yeah. Elixir of the Gods, which is incredible. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, that's what her secret is. I have to find out what that is. So before we jump in and I share more with you about my experience, and April and Danielle share with you theirs with this incredible youth in a bottle, we're just gonna like go around and share a little bit of our background and how we came into each other's world. I kind of just shared that with you right now, how I came into April's world. But I would love to start. Who wants to go? Do you want to go? Does Danielle want to go first? Then
jump in.
Go ahead. Share a little bit about yourself, your experience, and
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
It's interesting. So my background is science. I've always loved biology. I've loved how the body works, and that's what I studied in school. But after school, in my early 20s, I lost my health. And it happened because of a car accident. I sustained a brain injury, and my world went from one of being vibrant, confident, living life to the fullest, to being stuck in a dark room. I couldn't handle light, noise, severe migraines. My world just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I think everything's always happening for us. My higher self designed quite an obstacle course in this lifetime for me to overcome and put myself on the right track. But it's interesting, because of that accident and that injury, ASEA entered my world. That beautiful bottle that you held up and that's sitting behind here and is always near me. It came into my world 2 years after my injury. So I had actually been told by doctors after 1 year, this was my new normal. Nothing more you can do. You just need to work your life around these symptoms. I was 24 years old, and I thought, yeah, it's not a life worth living. Like, no way.
24? You have your whole life ahead of you.
Yes. And it was an acupuncturist that, you know, she was the one that brought it into my family. She brought it to my mom, and I wasn't actually open to it originally. I was like, this stuff sounds too good to be true. Like, the biologist in me is like, no way, something can go and repair every cell, and like, no way.
Right.
So
because that's not what you learned in college.
No. And it's so interesting. Like now, right, we can look back and it's like, they didn't know. The science of this is too new. Like, it wasn't in textbooks. It wasn't being taught. But I have friends now that are going through school and they're learning about redox signaling. They're learning what this stuff is. But just, it was too new. So anyway, long story short, I end up using it because my parents both have great results and they buy it for me and tell me, like, look, it could be the missing link. Like, just try it. And 3 months into using it, it's like the lights came back on. I started to be able to focus again. I had that clarity. It's like the world literally got crisp again. I could get the words out I wanted to. My brain was firing on all cylinders again. And the pounding I had in my head for 2 years at that point, unrelenting, it stopped. It stopped and it's never come back.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. The look on your face right now is the same look.
I'm thinking of like all the people that we could have helped in our lives. But I'm sorry, keep going with your story. This is
I just want to, it's like, that was the exact reaction my cognitive therapist had. She's like, Danielle, I have worked with your injury for 30 years. I have never seen somebody recover so rapidly, so far out from their initial trauma. And she said to me, what the hell is that stuff you started drinking? Because all the other clients need to know about it. Like, same reaction. Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, done. I said to her, I don't know what the stuff is. I thought it was salt water. And she's like, Danielle, obviously it's not. Like, what is it? So that launched into me meeting Dr. Silverman, me actually learning, like on the Elixir of the Gods show, like, what is this stuff? How does it work? And after that, it's just like the light bulbs went off in me of the potential. And I just went, holy cow, the potential of this to help every living being. I don't care if it's a plant. I don't care if it's an animal or one of us, you know, humans. It's like, it comes in and it just helps you have more vitality. It helps your body repair damage. It helps you get back into alignment. And then, as April will share, like, to the next level,
yes.
This body is able to
upper echelons of alignment, right?
Yeah, it's just like, holy cow. So I've been using this product since 2014. It has been 8 years. And it's just like,
I'm so jealous that you knew about it 8 years ago.
I know.
Like, but everything's perfect timing. Oh my God.
It is. I think the world's waking up. Like right now, I think after all we've been through, like, people are starting to ask questions. People are awake to the fact that, wait, I need to take ownership of my health. What can I do to support my body and staying strong instead of being in fear and reaction? It's like, no, let me take my power back. Let me empower my system. Yeah. And it's so interesting. So just to kind of connect to April, when I realized what this was, I went, the world needs to know. And I just started sharing. I didn't know what I was doing. I had been like alone for over 2 years. Like, I didn't know people. I literally was going out to the community and sharing with people. Wow. And through that ripple effect, I shared with a friend who had been managing a yoga studio, who then shared with a friend that owned a wellness center, who then shared with clients of theirs that just so happened to be April and Jay.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So it's just like the beauty of how this unfolds is so cool. And I'll let April kind of pick up the story from there.
Oh my God. And I love that because like a lot of our guests, I mean, I invited a lot of my friends, but a lot of my friends are spiritual and creative, but I coach spiritual and creative female entrepreneurs. And you just saying from the yoga studio to the wellness, I'm like, this is literally the journey that I'm on with. So, and I would, yes. And so of course, I'd love to hear from April with this.
Oh, well, thank you so much for allowing us to be on your show.
Oh my God, thank you.
On the other side of the table, this is great. You know, mine's a little bit different than yours. You feel 10 years younger, which is awesome, but I feel 25 years younger.
So, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm like, you weren't kidding when you said 10 years, because my body has reverted back to when I was 20, in my early 20s. I just turned 55 the other day.
Oh,
so when you know,
look incredible. I'm sorry for anybody.
Like, you do look incredible.
It does not have a filter on for anybody watching. Like, this is the true beauty goddess here, as well as Danielle. So I just want anybody to, whoever's just joining. So go on, April.
Thank you so much. And I do not have any fillers or any other shit. So just get that out of the way. The other thing is, so when you're on camera, like yourself, and you're all, if you're in the media or if you're modeling, you're doing shoots, or you become very self-conscious, right? And especially when you're on YouTube, not everybody loves you on YouTube, right? And people can leave very nasty comments on YouTube, and then it can really start to work on your psyche. So when you're in front of the camera, or even just getting, if you're at home and you got to go out and just do your day, you want to put your best face forward, because that's going to make you feel great. You have to, when you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I don't like the way I look, and my skin, my hair, my face, it really works on your psyche. So being having this show, I actually, just before this one, I was talking real quick about on Danielle and I just did an interview right before this.
Oh wow, you guys are so busy.
Yeah, I was saying that something happens to your body when you turn 50. And you could be 48, 49, 49 and a half, 49 3/4. But when that calendar flips over and you turn 50, all of a sudden your body goes into like chaos. It goes into hormonal havoc. And I went through a very awful shift. I think probably many women go through. Your hormones are just up and down, and night sweats, and you don't look the same. You don't feel the same. All of a sudden, when you work out, you have pain, and your knees hurt, your lower back hurts, and things that never used to bother you all of a sudden are bothering you, and you're like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? I'm not used to feeling like this. I like feeling young, energetic, vibrant, and I wasn't feeling that way. And Jay and I have always been on a health search. We've always really taken good care of ourselves, and we've always been on a spiritual journey. But I was not feeling the way that I had always felt. And when I looked in the mirror, I felt like I was aging. And both of my parents died about 5 years ago, and they died within a very short period of time together. It was like a 70-day window. It was really traumatic. That aged me tremendously. So when I was looking in the mirror, I was like, this is not the same person that I know. I wasn't looking the same. I didn't feel the same. My skin was definitely not the way that it used to be. And I was really going through, I felt like a depression cycle, because I was like, okay, it sucks. That's not how I wanted to be.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then being on the show, various companies, lots of companies would send us all kinds of health and wellness products, and they were very good, but they were not life altering. They didn't change the way we felt on the inside. I mean, it might have helped a little bit here and there, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, look at this, I'm running better. I don't have any external issues from working out. The recovery, there is no recovery. It's like you're just there, you're done, you're ready to keep going. Our energy levels went through the roof. And very quickly, we started noticing visually, we were feeling the internal difference pretty rapidly.
That's amazing.
The visual appearance was like,
how long would you say when you started to notice because the female entrepreneurs I coach, and I actually coach some guys as well, like they range in age from like 35 all the way to like 65, 70. So like how long would you say it took for you to notice the external difference?
Well, with the gel, the gel is
this is a miracle in a tube, everyone.
You are not exaggerating. It really is. I noticed that pretty rapidly, pretty quickly.
Amazing.
Jay and I noticed the changes very fast, but we were on so many other supplements that we were like, where is this coming from? Why do we have this incredible amount of sustainable energy? Why do we feel like we're able to run at optimal levels without having to crash? Why are we able to get up at the crack of dawn and keep running all the way through to the end of the day? I mean, I'm talking like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then be able to sleep.
Amazing.
That was amazing. So Jay and I, what we decided to do was, because we needed to know 100% before we brought it to our audience.
Right.
Where is this?
That's how I found out about it. So thank you.
So what we did was we said we need to stop taking everything else.
Right.
Because we knew the shift had started with the ASEA, but we needed to be guaranteed that that's where it was coming from.
Right.
So
right.
we stopped everything else.
You literally stopped your supplements, like your pre-workouts, any vitamins.
Vitamins, supplements.
Wow.
I stopped even drinking protein powders.
That's insane. Are you serious?
Stopped everything. And we knew very quickly in the first week that 100% this is where it was coming from.
Incredible.
And that's when we decided to really felt like we had an obligation to share it with others, because we had never felt so good. And our energy levels have been so sustained, and from a spiritual, it wasn't just mental, physical. This was mental, physical, spiritual, and prosperity. It's the whole enchilada.
And that's what Jay said. Jay said when I spoke to him to start, he's like, Jade, he's like, it's not just your mind, body, spirit. He's like, you're literally going to start manifesting things. And I'll share that in a moment, but I just wanted to jump in and like, just, say yes to that with what you were sharing, but keep going, because I didn't want to cut you off with that. But I just get so excited when like you're saying things and I'm like, yes.
It's so exciting. That's why you're like, even though Danielle and I just did a show, I mean, I could talk about this all day long.
That's amazing. That's how I feel. And like, I wanted my mother-in-law to be on here and my sister-in-law, because they could use this the most, And it's like it's what you and Jay said before in one of your videos. You were saying like, just share it. It's not about like telling them that they need it. They'll see the changes in us, and then they're gonna want to hopefully use it for themselves.
Exactly, because it changes your whole physiology. It literally changes you from the inside out, and it's apparent, and people see that. They see the visual side of you, but it also does something to your psychology.
Absolutely.
As you're feeling better, as you're looking better, you start feeling better.
Absolutely.
As you start feeling better, you start looking better.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So thank you, April. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing that more, because that's something that I didn't realize that you and Jay did, was stop your supplements and really know that this incredible, I mean, I'm calling it youth in a bottle. I know that you have it in your videos as goddess, the elixir of the gods, or elixir of the goddesses. It's all of that. But my hubby, he literally, he was dependent on his pre-workouts. And he literally said to me the other day, he's like, I took a quarter of my pre-workout scoop instead of like the whole thing. He literally was like, he couldn't believe it. I mean, and I'm going to share a little bit more as we go through, because for those of the female entrepreneurs on here, and for anybody who's wanting that business and understanding like how this is affecting our clarity, energy, and confidence, I'm just going to, we'll keep going and sharing our experience and everything, but I'm going to get more into that in a second. And just a little bit about my background for those of you on April's channel who don't know me. So just a little bit, like a little quick synopsis. So I actually, I've been a professional working actress based out of New York City for the past 12 years from the era of this video. And during the past 2 years, I started coaching female entrepreneurs with their confidence on camera so that they could make a greater impact, connect with their dream clients, and ultimately fill their coaching programs. And that has been going really well. I called it, I have a program called Spotlight Your Biz on Camera, and it's a VIP day. And I've had a group version, I've had the one-on-one private version, and that's going really well because they get my undivided attention to help them basically like skyrocket after this program to start creating the videos and lives that they need to connect with their ideal audience and dream clients. But even before that, I was always into skincare and makeup. I mean, I trained with Trish McAvoy when I was in college. She's a makeup artist, and her husband had like a dermatology line. And I was always fascinated with skincare, but then a lot of the skincare doesn't do what it actually says it's going to do. And I've had a scar on my nose, like on the tip of my nose. You can't see it right now, but ever since starting ASEA and like using this on my nose, and my girlfriends know who are watching this, who are on, like, I literally will only share something that has affected me in a positive way. And I started using this, and the redox like cell technology that Danielle could get more into in a little bit literally started reversing the bad cells in my nose, which are the scar tissue, and my nose looks smoother, like in person. And my hubby goes, his name's Adam. He's like, your nose, like the scar is going away. And I'm like, I know. So, and in addition to that, I used to, even before this, like right after college, I had like a couple years in the pharmaceutical industry. So I spent months, like literally like 3 years in and out of training with the number one pharmaceutical companies at the time. I'm not going to say their names because they were. And there are great things that pharmaceutical companies could do. But I also knew that when I was reading studies and there was more side effects and more like warnings than there were benefits, I'm like, it's something not right. So I kind of pulled out of being in that industry and started pursuing. Well, I didn't really pull out. Like I literally was like told like I might be let go with another 1,000 people at the time because our company was absorbed by another company. This was about like 2010. And my hubby's like, I know what you want to do. He's like, just pursue your passion. And I've been pursuing my passion as a professional actress based out of New York for these past 12 years. And like using that passion and helping other female entrepreneur and business owners to have their confidence on camera. So that's a little bit about me. So let's talk about clarity, because we're going to be talking about clarity, energy, and your confidence. So the clarity, the reason you become so clear from, well, at least for me, for drinking like this youth in a bottle, is because it literally allows, I feel like a higher activation with my higher self. And I've channeled, like I'm on day like 1986. Like I channel with my inner being, my collective. I channel when I speak to my friends. They know. They're like, I could tell you're channeling right now. I'm like, I am. So like, I don't do that as like a spiritual business. Just because like, I just kind of like baking. Like if you like baking, you're like, I don't want to do it as business. You know, you just do it because you love it. Like April's here because she loves it. She's like, I could share about this, you know, this goddess elixir all day long because she means it. And Danielle as well. And so basically like, I know in a spiritual sense, for anyone who's watching that like cares about the spiritualness that's going on in the world right now, it's the Age of Aquarius, and we're moving out of the heavy earth and water in the constellations. And that just basically means where Earth is and like the constellations in our Milky Way galaxy. And the Age of Aquarius is air. And that's why things are moving at lightning speed. And if we're not clear, then we are not keeping up to speed with ourselves, with our higher self, with getting guidance of what to do to bring our best to our business, with how to create new programs that might benefit the lives of others, with even how to show up clearly for ourselves and make decisions that are quick and succinct and pointed to the direction that we want our lives to go, rather than feeling indecisive, unsure, and uncertain. And when you have that clarity, you're able to show up as your best self on camera because you're allowing your higher self to channel through you. And that's what I talk about in the Spotlight Your Biz on Camera VIP program, because it's not about memorizing what you want to say on camera. Even in a situation like this, like we literally got on, I mean, I might've gotten on like a minute before we started. I'm like, all right, so let's go. Like we had no rehearsal. We're here together, you know, and that's just, that's like my take on clarity and basically like having like leaning more on the positive side of conversations and leaning more on the positive side of solutions. And, you know, my husband, even when he started taking this, and it's been about like a month, he owns a barbershop. Okay. So men go there to vent. They look fantastic when they leave, you know, and Adam will joke and he'll be like, well, you're gonna have a good date tonight with whoever you go out with. But, from the haircut, obviously, but from the conversations he has with them, because he shifts their conversations to be more positive, to look at life like not so grim and look at the solutions when there's problems. So I just wanted to hear from both of you, like what you think that this has done for your clarity. And like Danielle, if you could even share like like on the molecular level, what is happening with our minds. Because
yes, I'm looking at Sharon's question, and it's like perfect. So how does it actually work? Like, what's the physiology of it?
Sharon was in the one of my programs as well. So I love that you're here, Sharon. Great question. Go ahead, Danielle.
Yeah. So basically, these molecules are going into your body, and they're helping your body detect damage. So anywhere you have damage, it's helping it repair. You made a lot when you were young, and so as we've gotten older, we're making less, and so our system is just less and less able to find the damage. All right, so that's one of the things that it does. The other thing, and this is kind of getting into the clarity piece, is within our cells, it's also the activation system. So they're turning on, these molecules turn on our genes. They keep our genes activated. Those genes can include hormone modulation, which is something April was kind of getting at earlier, digestive enzyme production, ones that have to do with heart health and arterial elasticity, inflammatory response, and also with your innate immune response. But what's so interesting is when these genes get turned on, and stay with me if you're not really into biology, I promise it'll make sense. It's like a domino effect. So when this gets activated, it then goes and turns on another pathway that gets activated, another pathway that gets activated. One of those is like the circadian rhythm. And so your body is literally getting into deeper sleep. You're getting into your sleep cycle where your brain can rest, it can restore, your whole system can kind of reset itself at night and come back out. And so the next day you're at your prime. Like every single night you get, I don't know if you've experienced this, either of you. April, I don't think we've talked about this. All the times we've talked about ASEA. People have more vivid dreams. It's something that I hear often. They're more colorful, they're more vibrant, they're more intense. And it's because you're getting into that REM sleep. Like you're literally going to the depths of sleep and connecting in that space. So that's one of the reasons you wake up refreshed, you wake up ready to go. It's helping your stamina too. Like you start to burn fuel differently. You start to be able to shift things in your system. And because of that, it's like the energy I feel is like that of an Energizer bunny. It's like, I don't feel like I've had caffeine. It's not like that, but I'm just alert. I'm ready to go. I wake up that way. Right before I go to bed, I'm that way. Like there's no dip. It's just constant. Mm-hmm. And the clarity piece, it's like, I mean, Jay says it best. It's like he sees in panorama. Sometimes it's like hard to have the words to explain what it is that you're experiencing. But yeah, it's like I know things before they're about to happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's like I can just see on a different level, or I'll think something and it manifests immediately. Like I was thinking just literally 2 days ago, I was like, I wish my boyfriend would start taking these omegas. Like, I think it's going to help him with something he has going on. And I was like, I know if I tell him, he won't do it.
Right.
So I held the bottle in my hand and I said, look, speak to his free will. If he wants to try these, like, I think it will help him, and let's have him decide to do it. And I put it back in the cabinet. I went to the bathroom. This is how fast it happened. I went to the bathroom. I came back. He's in front of the cabinet taking it. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, no, I just felt like I should take these. And I was like,
oh my God. Oh my gosh.
But these things just like happen. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm not clear.
I mean, that is not just clear. That's, and I share this in my programs. I'm like, you always have to have intentionality before you do something. I mean, that's like, that's ultimate intentionality, Danielle. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm responsible for my thoughts for sure now. I'm like, okay, whatever's going on up here, it's going to create. So let's create the right stuff.
And I just, to just tag on to that, I remember watching a video with Dr. David talking about the physiology of the cells. And basically, from what I understand, and correct me, add on to this, because this is kind of like my pharma years of like understanding biology, that basically like our bodies, like you said, is always recreating cells. But then as we age, it stops to recreate the good cells. And then the bad cells tend to replicate on themselves. And that's how wrinkles start. That's how aches start. That's how like our joint pain starts. That's how fogginess starts in our mind. I mean, they're not joking when they say that, like when our pineal gland, which is our third eye for those in the spiritual community, like this is helping to decalcify that. And I know that just by like my scars reversing. So with the cell like physiology, from what I understand, is that it helps to recreate your good cells. It stops recreating your bad cells, and then it's like cleaning your cell from the outside and also the inside so that it could absorb everything.
I love how you're explaining this.
Is that right? Did I say it right?
I'm going to start using that one. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. The visuals, Dr. Silverman always does this. He says, look, there's healthy cells when we're young. And then as we get old, cells can become damaged, right? The sun happens to our skin becomes wrinkled, and that damaged cell stays there. Or maybe it's a cell that mutates, right? And then we know what happens with mutated cells. Well, usually healthy cells around it will signal out and they'll tell the body, hey, there's a bad one over here. Come, come repair it or come kill it off.
Right.
Problem is that as we get older, the signaling, we're making less of it. And so the body's ability to hear where these issues are, to identify where the damage is, it declines. Or to find that mutated cell and kill it off. The body's own communication network is just, it's just not what it used to be. It's like having one bar service on your cell phone. Like,
amazing. And I'm getting that visual, like how our nerves like would talk to each other. Because
it literally is that. It's electron transfer. I mean, it's the like most simple. And it's not like there's signaling molecules for heart cells and signaling molecules for brain cells and different ones for skin cells. No, every cell in every living thing, plants, animals, us, all speak with the same reductants and oxidants, which is what's in that blue bottle.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's incredible what that then means when you can take it. And it's like, use it with animals, use it with plants. They can't have it
with my doggie, my 14-year-old Boston Terrier. She's like, I'm ready. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Let's go to the park. Like,
Exactly.
Amazing. And what about you, April? Thank you so much for clarifying that too with the physiology. And great question, Sharon. Anybody watching, I see that Messiah is learning. Awesome. Thank you for commenting. So make sure you comment because we see you and we're happy to answer your questions as we go. We don't have to wait until the end to answer questions. So April, what do you feel like this is doing for your clarity? You're like my goddess like inspiration when it comes to creating programs. Like every time I turn around, April has like something new that she's doing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Thank you so much. And yes, in terms of, before we started taking this, I always thought it was pretty clear. I always thought Jade was pretty clear, and we were, but this has taken us to an entirely different level of clarity. This is cleared out before you could be like, I'm not saying you, but I'm just going to use me as an example. You're driving or somebody says something or you do something and next thing you know, you're like, you could go down a dark path very, very quickly, right?
Yes.
It could be like, saying things and thinking things that you shouldn't be, but you're going to mouth it off anyway.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen
That's
at
all.
And for that in itself is fantastic because
you're from the Northeast. Like I'm from where you came from, right? Because you're in Florida now.
I'm all about it. Listen, you can leave you can never take the Philly out of the girl.
That's great.
But yes, because I don't have these thoughts. It's like it's almost put like blockers up where like you things that you used to think or negative thoughts, they're just I don't think like that at all. I mean, I wake up and I feel the best I've ever felt. I feel energized. I feel the other thing too, Jade, is right now the world is going through such incredible transformations, incredible transition. There's all kind of energies. I mean, there's energies coming from every which way, right? So it's so important for us to not only protect our own energy field, but we have to be so careful about our thoughts because as Danielle was saying, everything is accelerated right now. So you can manifest literally at a God and goddess speed.
Absolutely.
But you have to be very, very careful because that could also work against you.
Right.
Right. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, you're going to manifest those negative thoughts faster than you ever thought possible. So it is critical to keep your mind, body, spirit, in the highest vibration and the highest frequency that we could possibly keep it at. And the ASEA does that for us without us having to, constantly be like, okay, A good
Without
thought.
having to meditate for 2 hours in the morning, do your appreciation journal for a half an hour. Do like write every affirmation on a Post-it going around your house. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. This accelerates everything that everybody has been wanting. Everybody wants to raise their frequency. Everybody wants to raise their vibration. Everybody wants to manifest. Everybody wants to prosper. Everybody wants great abundance.
Yeah.
This is allowing our minds to have the clarity to be able to take that information that is being channeled down to us, whether it's your higher self or if it's something other that you connect with. It's allowing our discernment meter to say, you know what, that's right on track, but you know what, what's coming in, I don't think so. I'm going to let it go, and I'm not even going to give it any attention or any energy. And I'm going to stay focused with what's important in my life to help us have the best life possible. So it's taking the like the anxiety.
It really does away.
It's taking the negative thought patterns. Poof! It's released. We just don't have those thoughts coming into our minds at all.
I agree. I feel like even like and I love my hubby, but like, we've been together for over 20 years, and there's like, I just don't get upset about like little things that I would normally get upset about. Just like goes away.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh, Evelyn, I'm so happy you're here, Evelyn. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, it is so important for us to keep our vibration high. It really is. And I just saw my girlfriend, Evelyn, the other day. We were both celebrating a joint birthday, and happy belated birthday as well to April, because we all share a birthday month in July. So, we're in August right now for anybody who's watching the replay. But yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like how you said, like, it's just direct communication with your higher self and the sharpness and the clarity. I had an audition, I would say like 2 weeks ago, 10 pages that was due within 2 days. That's no big deal. But rather than spending 4 hours preparing for it that I normally would, or 2 hours, probably 2 hours, I was off book, fully in character, like aligned in my cells, like literally breathed this character through me into my cells within an hour and a half, 10 pages. I not only did it with effortless ease, I didn't even think about it afterwards. That's a lot of actors, and anybody, like you said, like being on camera, like we tend to think like what other people might be thinking, and not just like on a physical level, like we like creatively, like we care about our creations. And that tape was sent to producers, and that is such a compliment, because there is literally anywhere from like 3,000 submissions for one role. Maybe they might see 50 people. Maybe they might consider some people like for like the more significant role. And I was like one of two people who went to producers. So I feel really blessed for that. So thank you. Like literally thank you for bringing this into my, like, I don't want to start crying because like, but literally like if had I not been taking drinking like my fountain of like my youth in a bottle, my ASEA, like I probably would have been overthinking it. And the manifestation of that happened so quickly, just like Jay said it was going to. So, I mean, I could just talk about all the incredibleness that this is doing for not just my life, but for my hubby's life. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, because I have something about his knee that started taking place. But like, let's jump into like, I mean, obviously we've been speaking about energy. Danielle said like it's a kind of energy that's not even coming from coffee, and I agree. I'm literally drinking less coffee. I mean, and people who know me might be like, Jade, you're always like on like a 10, even when it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, no, I could relax after my fourth meditation. But this is why it's so important to feel more youthful and look more radiant on camera for your business, as like in what and in life, because you'll be able to have more energy and you'll be able to exude that youthfulness in such an effortless way. You're not trying. Like your clients know, your friends know, your family knows, anybody at Pilates or at the gym, they could feel our energy. They know if we're at a high vibe, like Evelyn was saying, if our vibration is higher, or if we're like closed and like lower energy, or like April was saying, like in the past, like making a comment about somebody who might have cut us off on the highway, we just don't feel that way anymore. It's kind of like you send a blessing, like, okay, slow down, brother. I hope that you're okay. You know, I always think maybe they have to go to the bathroom. I don't know. I make excuses why people drive like really crazy at times, but I send like this effortless energy around me of healing. But basically, I wanted to know, and I did write this question down. So, and you kind of got into this, Danielle, but like so it helps our cells have more energy. But like, even if you just want to expand a little bit and like, of just how like the electricity and that our cells are speaking to each other, how is it that we're able to go off supplements or take less of our supplements? How is this happening?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll share with you the biology of it, and then I'll share an analogy that just made it click for me. But what's happening is that, we're like sacks of saline. If you actually break down our bodies, we're a lot of salt water. We cry salty, we sweat salty, go to the ER, they're probably going to put you on a drip of saline. Like, your body uses sodium and chloride that are found in salt, and hydrogen and oxygen that are found in water. Nice. And the body takes these molecules and it breaks them apart and it reconfigures, just like you would take letters and you can make a bunch of different words, right? You can make a bunch of different molecules. Like hydrogen peroxide, we probably all have that in our house. It's H2O2.
Right.
It's the same thing as water, H2O, just one more oxygen. And all of a sudden now we've got a different molecule. And when that happens, some end up net negatively charged, some end up net positively charged. And the way our bodies work, it's really all just these chemical reactions. It's the transfer of electrons. That's the electricity that's running through our system. And so as that transfer happens, different things turn on, different things get activated, different signals go out. And so the body is constantly making different combinations of those things to have these different molecules. And they're known as reductants and oxidants. And so if you look at a bottle of ASEA, literally it says, I'm backwards here. It says redox, which stands for reductant and oxidant.
Oh, that's literally what it stands.
There you go.
That's amazing. Hence redox.
Redox
signaling supplement. Right. Exactly.
So it's like when I was out there last week, the president of the company, and he also runs production, he said, it's like we have lightning in a bottle. It's like we've taken the electricity that our system uses to communicate and they put it in a bottle.
Amazing.
And it was thought to be impossible. I mean, Jade, I don't know if you know this, but they tried to do this for decades and couldn't. And I think April says it better than anyone I know. I mean, it was intuited down. I mean, it came down from a higher source to the researchers that were working with this, through stuff that happened in the instruments that they didn't even know, to allow these molecules to be stable, because they're very fleeting. It's as if you captured a spark. Wow. And you put it in a mason jar, and I then gave it to you to go light your fire. Like, you can't do that. Sparks are fleeting.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, it was thought to be that these were that way, but that's why this is a breakthrough. Like, they figured it out. We have it. This is 12 years old now. It's not even that it's like new. It's just now entering people's worlds, because time is everything. And it's supposed to enter now. And it's interesting, like with what they do, I think about it like construction workers coming to the job site. Like, everybody has stuff going on in their house, right? If I asked you, maybe it's your plumbing, and maybe, April's got something with her fridge and I've got something with my AC. Like, we all have something going on in our house. Same with our body. And so the construction worker comes in and it does that job. And the thing is, older houses have more issues. People's bodies as they age have more issues, but less construction workers are coming to the job site because there's less of this electricity. There's less of these sparks. What this does is it puts the spark back in. It puts more contractors on the job site. All of a sudden, your system has what it needs to repair the AC and catch the leak before it becomes a big plumbing issue. Like, it's just going in and doing what it needs to do. And so cool.
I love that. So it's not just fixing, it's actually stopping things from happening.
Oh, for sure. It's like it identifies it before it trickles up to the point where you're like, there's an issue. Some people will take this product and they'll say, I don't feel it. And I'm like, yeah, because it's working on something that you didn't even know was an issue. So just be grateful, know that it's doing its job, and like, just keep taking it. I have no idea what I've prevented, right? I mean, I have no concept of things that could have crept up in my life and just haven't, because I've been using this for 8 years.
That's amazing. That's incredible. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for those analogies too. I love that. Drinking like light from like a mason jar that like you just gifted upon us. And you did, because you gifted April, and then April gifted me, and April's gifting a lot of people. And, you know, I just want to bring this awareness because it matters. Like I had a best friend who left Earth in 2013, and my, you know, Papa Gabor, who's my hubby's dad, left like a year before her. And if I had known about this then, like, I feel like, well, would they still be here, or would it have at least allowed them to live healthier longer then, to have more quality of life then, before they left Earth, before they decided to go? Like, but I don't want to beat myself up over that stuff. But April, I would love to hear for like the energy, and obviously your glorious glow, that like your best friend just found out about it from you the other day. I remember we were like, we were talking, and you were saying how your best friend, you felt inspired and you shared something, and then she's like, tell us what happened with that.
Before I share that real quick, for everybody that's listening, just really quick, I want to share. You see Jade's link right there.
I always forget about that.
Let's real quick. We highly encourage you to call Jay to help. For anybody that wants it, says, "Oh my gosh, I want to get it right now." Do not run to the website to purchase this.
Yeah, no.
You need help, especially if it's your first time experiencing it. And you may have some questions. So make sure that you call Jay, say you saw it on Jade's show, and he will walk you through. Not only that, if you just run to the website right now, there's a high likelihood that you're going to end up paying too much, because you may accidentally find yourself in purchasing it through the retail side of it. And we don't want you to do that.
Don't do that.
Get the most amount that you could possibly get and save the most amount as well. And we will help you through that. We'll walk you right through the process. So thank you so much. But
thank you so much. Yes, because you don't want to, who wants to pay retail? Nobody wants to pay retail. Like, I mean, I'm all about savings. And if we could at least help you with that. And like I said, like April said, clicking on the link below in the description on YouTube, or just going to jadeelysan.myasealive.com. And Jay actually is who's the one who helped me get started. So you're even better off just texting Jay and say that you saw the Jade Youth in a Bottle episode, or whatever you want to call it. Just let them know where you saw it. With us goddesses, Danielle and April on here. So tell us about your best friend, that story. I love that story. That was like a good.
Yeah. So, when you don't talk to someone for a while, and then they ask you, what have you been up to? That, it's like, oh my gosh, this could take like an hour and a half conversation. Up to date, right? Yep. So you know what? I'm just going to send her a video. Explain everything in a nutshell, what I've been doing. And she sent me back. She goes, what's your secret? She goes, you got a facelift? You got a facelift? And tell me. And I'm like, I did not get a facelift. And I'm like, she goes, you've done something. It's more than just this. But I swear, this is all I've been using. Yeah. So even my best friend didn't believe me. I literally had to convince her. I'm like, I'm not using anything else. I have not had a facelift. I said, listen, your hands don't lie and your neck doesn't lie, right?
Exactly.
You can do this, but you'd really have to do a lot of surgery to fix any of that and any of this, right? Yep. So she's like, I know. Because I could see that. I said, this is all we have been doing. And I do want to tag on two things that you said about with your husband. I could not agree with that story anymore. I think every couple, if you're living with anyone, if you're not in a house by yourself and you have someone else living in the house with you, you need to be using this, because little things that would drive you absolutely nutty, they just don't even faze you.
Just don't care.
You don't even care. You're like, all right, I'll clean up your dish again. Even phase you. So from that, I think from that point alone, everybody should be on it.
Seriously. I feel like my mom, I have to get my mom and dad on it, because my dad is on like 20 pharmaceutical medicines, and like he'll just do, and I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful that doctors back this, Dad, because I can't wait to share those videos with you. Yeah. Oh my God. I love that. So let's tie up this last little part on confidence. I mean, obviously, you've just been hearing us share like our experience with this incredible journey, this gift from the gods that we've been on with ASEA. And the reason you have confidence, the reason you could show up with confidence on camera for your business and your life is because it's literally cleansing your cells from the inside out. In turn, cleansing your thought patterns. And it's like how April said, you're not, getting upset when somebody cuts you off on the highway. You're not having these little nitpicky thoughts that you normally would, because our body is optimized. Our cells are speaking as they should. We're having our good cells renew and our bad cells go away, like our body and God intended them to be released from our body through the natural excretion process, and to allow our new cells to grow. And that's why you'll have like your radiance to shine on camera. You'll be able to speak from your true authentic self more. You'll be able to like control your thoughts better, because if we're going through life and we're able to control our thoughts, that means we're not getting bombarded by someone else's thoughts. We're not jumping onto the intentions and influence from somebody else. We know who we are. We're clearing our minds. We're able to do that. I mean, in addition to, I joked about like meditation and like affirming and journaling, which I do, but like in addition to your meditation and daily self-care, like it's easier to get into meditation now. It's easier to have, I don't have to take like 20 minutes for meditation. I can do meditation in 5 to 10 minutes and I'm clear. I'm right there. It's like, it's
chatter,
shrinking the amount of time that it takes for us to like get to our higher self with that. And, I mean, I'm an optimistic person, and like, I do always want to see the glasses always full with, half air, half ASEA, but like a half full, right? The glasses always full. But this is how this is how I stay confident. This is because I'm able to channel my higher self on camera, how I'm speaking in my coaching sessions with my clients and theirs, like when they speak to their clients, when they do so many of these incredible interviews and guest like spots, and I'm invited into their world. So I feel so blessed to be here right now, to be able to speak. I don't have this like scripted. I do have like a little bit. For anybody who knows me, of course I'm type A and I have like some things to touch on, but this is all like natural, like, round table style. And anybody in the Uber Savvy Business private Facebook group for consciously creative female entrepreneurs, you've seen my live videos in this past like 2 months. I'm so much more fun. Like, where do you think this is coming from? Like, this is literally because my body is clear. I'm not like making this shit up. Like, this is for real, And for those of you who know that you have to go live and know that you need to make videos or do amazing broadcasts like this is going to give you the confidence to do that, because you're not going to be like, oh, what am I going to say? Am I going to remember? You're going to take everything that I taught you in the Spotlight Your Biz on Camera VIP program, I know you're watching, and use that and allow it to work for you. So I love everybody who was able to be here today. And like in terms of confidence, like, oh, so my hubby, just real quick, with the cells speaking to themselves, my hubby had knee surgery 10, 15 years ago. No range of motion. Literally, like my sister-in-law was like, can you come roller skating with, they're so cute. Can you come roller skating with us? I'm like, no, but also because Adam's knee hurts, like we can't go roller skating with you. And Adam literally has been he's been putting this on his knee literally twice a day, every day, and drinking. He's at 4 ounces twice a day, so 8 ounces a day of this miracle ASEA. And he said he almost started crying at the gym yesterday. He's like, I was at the hack squat machine. Like, can you just see? He's this big guy and he's all serious. He's like, this is the hack squat machine. And like, that's where you have your back straight and your legs are in front of you. And when you squat, your knees are still over your ankles. You don't want to like hurt your alignment with that. And he's like, I was able to squat all the way down and like my glutes almost like coming parallel. I was like, oh my God, he like literally got teared up. And I don't want to cry, but like, how many times I'm like, let's go bike riding. And he's like, I can't, So just stuff like that. It's
giving him his life back.
It is. Yeah.
I really thank you so much for sharing that. I do want to just real quick, because 2 people were asking, where's the link?
Oh, yeah. Evelyn's asking for the link.
Yeah. All the links are in the show description, and it's also running through the scroll at the bottom of the screen, but do not go to the website by yourself.
Right.
Because you are highly likely going to end up buying something that is on retail, and we don't want you to do that. We want to show you how you can get it at a much lower cost. So do take advantage. Call Jade. Her number's right there, 321-216 8047. Let them know that you saw this on Jade's show, and we'll use her link to help you purchase through her. But let Jay help you walk you through.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming close to the hour, so I mean, we'll just have to do like another fun gathering with this, because there's so much more that this does for you, and like your immune system and inflammation and all of that. And like I could spend another hour just talking about the skincare aspect of it, which is also the radiance. But I hope that whoever tuned in, whoever watches the replay, that you could see how to feel youthful and look radiant on camera, and like just have your clarity, energy, and confidence. It can be a lot easier than you're making it. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be just as simple as you being open to allowing something that has been literally gifted by divine to these scientists to create a product that is literally healing us from the inside out. So I would like to say thank you for anybody who watched. Again, make sure you go below the video. It says jadeelysan.myaselive.com, but definitely text Jade. Just say that you saw it on there, because if you go, you might click the wrong link to like sign up, pay retail. Don't do that. I'm all about savings. I mean, and if you do go to the website, you'll see welcome to Jade Elysan. Click on contact me. At least from there, I could help you. And then set you up with a phone call with Jay, so he could really get you set up. But Danielle and April, is there anything else you'd like to share before we close out? Because that was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. You've got great energy, and it's just so amazing to me. I was at the corporate office last week, and I got to go through production, and we sat in this room.
So
there
cool.
were 60 entrepreneurs there.
How many?
60.
Wow.
And it was like this beautiful cross section of humanity. I mean, Arabic, Native American, Asian, from the US, from the UK, from Mexico. And I was sitting there thinking, like, what a beautiful ripple effect that's going to come out from this. And like, we're all here in this moment for a reason. Like, you're watching this video for a reason. And the question is, what are you going to go take forward with this? Today it might be about you, but think bigger, because you're learning about something before the masses have actually gotten to experience it and see it. This will be in everybody's home.
I believe that.
So align yourself with it. Get yourself having your experience, yes, but the world needs to hear about this. The world is going to hear about it. And if you are an entrepreneur, which it sounds like Jade, that's who you work with, this is an entrepreneur's dream to integrate in. All of us should have multiple streams of income. All of us. And this is a beautiful thing to align with, to work with, and to help other people through this. It's just massive. And I wish that you all could have seen these people that were in the room. I mean, it was just like, I don't even have words to describe to you the power with which each of them held with what they've done in their careers. And then here they are here with this mission, with this purpose, because there's heart behind it. It's not just about money. It's about, wow, we can really shift humanity. And so we're doing a lot of great work here. And I'm so excited that you got attracted into this. You got caught up in the ripple effect, and now we're here.
Thank you. So like a double thank you to you, to April, and to everybody who helped you. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Jade. It was a pleasure, and it's just a joy being around beautiful spirits and being able to share something that has done miraculous things in our lives, and what it's continuing to do. The testimonials that we get, the comments on the show about how it's changing other people's lives. What more can we possibly ask for? This is really, Jay and I talk about a 5D economy, which is very simplistically becoming abundant by helping others become abundant. Yes. And I really believe that ASEA is the epitome. It epitomizes everything. It epitomizes the new world that we want to create. It epitomizes raising the vibration to try to ascend to a higher density. It creates abundance for everyone. This is ultimately what the creator, the grand creator, always ever wanted for the world, to go back to its roots and help other people make their life great by helping other people make their life great. And that's really what it's all about. The money just comes when
it does. Oh my God, things are manifesting. I'm sorry. I mean, like it's amazing, but it opens you up to a vibrational level where you're in alignment with your greatest joy, your greatest health, and your greatest wealth. And it's evident in what is literally coming into my life via my acting, via my clients, via my coaching programs, via ASEA. It's amazing. So
it's a blessing, and we are so honored and grateful for everyone. Thank you so much. Jade, do you want to close it out?
And I just want to thank anyone who tuned in, anyone who's watching this replay, to just sit with this and feel like what your life would feel like if you could just be your most youthful, most radiant self, not just on camera, but just for yourself, just looking at yourself in the mirror and loving yourself, having better thoughts about yourself, feeling confident with yourself, having that energy to get up in the morning and do something creative and do something productive that's going to help you and others around you. Imagine this is just the beginning of my journey, but if I could just heal everybody in my life around me, I would just like have like a fountain pool of ASEA, and I would invite you guys over and be like, let's hang out in my ASEA pool because this is going to heal all of us. So that's what I wanted to say.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And with Jade's help, we are all in the universal key to global harmony and creating a unified world. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you. I feel so blessed. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, April. You both are such gorgeous goddesses, and I just feel so lucky and just blessed to be in your presence. So thank you for having me.
Of course. And much love and many blessings.